Iran has just sent a stark message to Israel and, by extension, the United States. The rules of engagement no longer apply. On Tuesday, March 17, 2026, Tehran did not issue any subtle warnings or communicate through intermediaries. Instead, it launched what military officials are now calling one of the most direct and coordinated assaults in modern Middle Eastern history. More than 200 projectiles fired in just a few hours, including ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones targeting key Israeli military infrastructure from multiple directions. Early reports from Tel Aviv and Jerusalem indicate that Israel's air defense systems were stretched to their limits. But what makes this moment so significant is that it wasn't a symbolic attack. It wasn't calculated or measured. It was a full-force assault. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu immediately convened an emergency war cabinet. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden reportedly engaged with Pentagon leadership, and U.S. naval assets in the eastern Mediterranean assumed an active defensive posture. For decades, the assumption was that Iran fought through proxies, Hezbollah in Lebanon, militias in Syria, and so on, while Israel responded with precision airstrikes, avoiding direct confrontation. But this attack changes everything. What happened on March 17th suggests a shift toward open warfare between two of the region's most heavily armed powers, with nuclear consequences lurking just beneath the surface. Let's rewind a bit to Tuesday, March 17th, just before the world realized that something major had changed. At around 2:40 a.m. local time in Tehran, multiple intelligence channels began picking up unusual activity across several Iranian military sites. By 3:15 a.m., reports confirmed coordinated missile launches from at least 4 bases, including those near Isfahan and Kerman. Shortly afterward, Iranian General Hussein Salami appeared on state television and issued a chilling statement. The Zionist regime has crossed every red line. Tonight, we respond not with warnings, but with decisive force. Almost immediately, sirens blared across central and northern Israel. The Israel Defense Forces confirmed that this wasn't a limited strike. It was a multi-phase, coordinated assault, combining drone swarms meant to overwhelm radar systems with precision-guided missiles targeting strategic locations. At least 9 major sites were hit in the first wave, including air bases and missile defense batteries, with civilian areas also affected. Within 45 minutes, the United States had deployed additional surveillance assets to the region. This wasn't a traditional act of retaliation. This was a calculated message that Iran is no longer content with operating in the shadows. They're stepping into the open. For over 40 years, the Iran-Israel conflict followed a predictable pattern. Iran funded proxy groups while Israel carried out precision strikes. The United States backed Israel diplomatically but avoided direct confrontation with Iran. This structure allowed both sides to avoid escalating into all-out war, even during critical moments like the assassination of General Qasem Soleimani in 2020. But this new attack breaks that formula. It wasn't a proxy escalation, it was a direct, openly attributed, large-scale assault. And once you shift from shadow warfare to open conflict, all previous assumptions break down. The predictable rules of escalation are gone. The consequences are far more dangerous. This wasn't just retaliation for a specific Israeli strike. According to sources, Iranian military forces had been positioning missile batteries as early as March 3rd, 2 weeks before the attack. Satellite images and defense analysts confirmed unusual logistical movements, and cyber units linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps had already been probing Israeli infrastructure days before the physical strike began. This suggests the attack was part of a long-planned strategy, not an emotional response to a specific event. This was a coordinated, multi-domain operation involving cyber warfare, drone swarms, and ballistic missiles, designed to test and potentially overwhelm Israel's defense systems like Iron Dome and Arrow. It's not just escalation. It's a new form of warfare, faster, more synchronized, and far more dangerous than anything we've seen before. The stakes have gone beyond military strategy. The global implications are enormous. The moment the attack occurred, energy markets reacted with crude oil prices spiking nearly 8%. Shipping insurers began reassessing risks in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical oil transit point. This attack isn't just military, it's a direct hit to the global economy. Prolonged instability benefits those who thrive in disruption, such as defense contractors and energy exporters, while harming those dependent on stable global trade, particularly civilian economies in developing regions. That's a shift in global power dynamics that's becoming more evident by the hour. However, sustaining such high-intensity warfare is incredibly difficult. Israel faces significant challenges in controlling escalation. Responding decisively is important, but it could draw in Hezbollah or even U.S. forces, turning this into a regional war. The cost of this conflict, both in terms of military resources and economic strain, is unsustainable in the long run. As this situation unfolds, the next 72 hours will be crucial. Will Israel strike directly inside Iran? Will the U.S. publicly support Israel's actions? What role will Hezbollah play? These are the questions we should be asking as we move closer to what could be a major turning point in the Middle East. Let me know your thoughts on this situation. Do you think we're heading toward a full-scale regional war, or will global pressure force both sides back into containment?